man. And what she discovers, she's not really liking. And I don't blame her, I wouldn't like it either. Page of Swords, Scrapbook, Page of Swords. Yeah, what she's discovering, she's not really liking, but she's gonna swallow it, you know. I did predict that they would eventually get divorced because he would pull the Pisces thing and disappear on her, which would force her to file. Hi everyone, welcome back to No Light Tarot. My name is Hailey, so grateful to have you all. Let's get into this. I'm doing a couples update, so please, if you like the video, like it, subscribe if you're not subscribed, if you have watched some of my videos. If not, stick around, see if you like the channel. And yeah, let's get started. I'm doing two couples today, Justin and Hailey Bieber, and Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. Okay, so when I was shuffling the cards, I got this energy of distance, almost like isolation, like being in a big house and not feeling anything, emptiness, lots of emptiness. So with the awakening, transformation, and Ace of Cups, I strongly see here that, and I've picked this up before, whenever I do readings on them, I think that their relationship was way overdue to end. But I think what's keeping them still together is, number one, the fact that they both are very stubborn energy. It's almost like they have to prove something to the world that they're not together. I mean, that they're still together. Why they're together, blah, blah, blah. Also, I get very strongly that there's monetary wise a lot coming for both of them by the situation. And I explained to you, I mean, it's obvious the Hailey side, but I'll explain to you the Justin side. Before Justin was seen as a husband, he was seen as unstable, he was seen as a mess, he was seen as somebody that was lost. And I have so much compassion for him because I can only imagine being raised in the industry, what he's seen. In fact, one of the readings, I saw some of what he's been through. It's horrible, I believe. You know, it is intuitive based, not fact based. But I strongly feel like there's this energy of he now is not the bad guy. And okay, I'm gonna explain something to you. I've been with two Pisces, like really seriously. Maybe not so seriously, not as seriously as my like relationships, but like considered being with them. One of them, I don't want to go too much into it because both of them are cool people, cool guys. It just wasn't working out. But one of them, whenever we go through something, he would disappear. And it used to drive me nuts. But another pattern I saw in him, in fact, both of them disappeared in some form or manner. One of them was just emotionally distant. The other would like actually physically disappear and come back and be like, oh, I need to process it. And I was fine with that, whatever. Because I like to process things too, but tell me any time to process. You know what I'm saying? Don't just disappear and act like everything's fine. But in both of them, I saw this like martyr essence, this need to save people, this need to like look good to everybody and look like a savior and look like this and look like that. Meanwhile, their lives were like falling, I wouldn't say their lives were falling apart per se, but meanwhile they weren't publicly who they were as a boyfriend, you know, or as potential boyfriend, or do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just felt like that, and I felt like one of them in particular, he had an ex that he's talked about, and according to him, which I don't feel comfortable talking about exes. I think exes should just leave in the past. But according to him, she was mean, she was this, she was that, she was toxic, she was bad, she was controlling, she was all these things. But it was almost like he had an addiction to being the victim. And in a weird way, that victimhood made him like a martyr, you know? And I see that here with Justin and Hailey. Is that I think sometimes Sun and Pisces are drawn to people that can look worse than they do, so that they have a scapegoat for their actions. If that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes sense. If it doesn't, please write in the comment section, because I've seen that a lot with Sun and Pisces, particularly the men. They'll be with like these toxic women, and I see that with Justin. I think deep down they bring out the worst in each other, but they're not willing to work on their relationship, because right now Justin doesn't look like the bad person in the relationship, you know? She does. So he's winning. He's getting something out of it. That's why he's staying. So with the Empress and Queen of Swords, she's going to start catching on to being like, how come all your exes, if somebody, all their exes were horrible, that's a red flag. That's a serious red flag. Because how come all your relationships haven't worked out, and why is it always the other person's fault? What accountability are you willing to take? And I see that with her realizing, like, how come all his exes are like this? How come but it's almost weird, like, this is why getting married, I believe, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, why are women not having babies till they're 30? And I think because a lot of people are realizing, myself included, that it shouldn't be a rush to have children. It's the lifestyle. It's having a healthy, happy home to be in. Not just like rush, find whoever you can to have children with, but having it mean something. And that takes a little longer than getting married willy-nilly. I'm not saying everybody does, but I'm just saying in most cases people get married and they don't really know the person, especially here. They didn't really know each other when they got married, and she's figuring all of this out right now. So the Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck, I don't know if you can see that here, she's like really going through everything. She has definitely, and I predicted a lot of the stalking stuff before, she has definitely a stalker side to her. I don't think she sleeps very well. If she does, you know, we'll do it on our phones. I do that sometimes, like looking at jewelry, looking at piercings, looking at tattoos, late night. And then it's 4 o'clock and I'm like, how the hell, where did the time go? But I was on Instagram looking at piercings or Pinterest and reading Reddit about housewives. So, but she's doing that, about him. And she's getting to know the person that she's been married to. Whew. Man. And what she discovers, she's not really liking. And I don't blame her, I wouldn't like it either. Page of Swords, Scrapbook, Page of Swords. Yeah, what she's discovering, she's not really liking, but she's gonna swallow it, you know. I did predict that they would eventually get divorced because he would pull the Pisces thing and disappear on her, which would force her to file. Because he'd be like, oh, we'll go get therapy. Oh, we'll do this. And then he doesn't, which just happened to me with the Pisces. Like, oh, made all these plans and then they're not doing it. And it's like, if you're not making the plans, why should I stay with you? So 7 of Cups, 3 of Swords, and Serenity. She is kind of, oh, this is sad. She's kind of beating herself up and feeling, and we've all been there. If you haven't been there, I'm sure you will be one day. It just happens in life where you saw someone's potential and you didn't see who they really were. And it doesn't just happen to women, it happens to men too, it happens to a lot of people. When you see, oh, this person has potential, and you believe in the potential more than the reality, and it leaves you alone. But in that aloneness, I really don't believe, and I know lots of people don't like Hailey Bieber. I don't want Bolden Bieber. I don't want to hate on her. I think she's just a deeply, deeply insecure person. And her insecurity translates to being mean, you know? It's just very Sun and Sagittarius. I talk about my high school best friend I had. A lot of Chrissy Teigen, Nicki Minaj. When Sagittarius are insecure, especially the woman, they project it as being mean, like mean girl energy, definitely. And Geminis do that too. And they're actually opposite signs. So the Page of Swords and Page of Cups, she's really, I see her going to therapy and that pushing her to make the call. Okay, so I'd love to hear what you guys would say. I really love your own personal stories when you tell me, oh yeah, I was with Pisces did that to me, or oh yeah, I was with an Aquarius, and then, you know, because that's what the whole point of the channel is about. It's about healing, growing, being in that kind of energy. So yeah. Now I'm going to move on to Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. Sun in Scorpio and Sun in Capricorn. Which I think is actually a good match. I believe Scorpios and Scorpios are a great match. Scorpios and Capricorns also a great match in general. I should do a video like that. If you guys want me to do like a zodiac matching, please let me know. I'm so into astrology. So let's see the energy. Okay, I'm just got an image right now. Interesting. So I told you guys, well, if you want to go back and watch it, I will have a card up in a video. I did a video last week about Gabrielle Union and her being in this like angry energy, this like, I wouldn't say, I guess mean girl energy. But you know, a lot of the reason, and I always defend Scorpios, and sometimes I'm alone defending, my loyal friends since I was a kid have been Scorpios and Virgos. Always. Sometimes Leos, the thing is, Leos can be very superficial sometimes, and I don't like the superficiality. And this is just generalizing, okay? That's the whole point. Aquarius, I am a Sun in Aquarius. I don't get along with most of my fellow signs. Because I feel like some Aquarius can be very sweet, and then other Aquarius can be like devil type people that I want nothing to do with, that are very negative, pessimistic, and just. But the reason I always defend Scorpios is because Scorpios have always been completely loyal to me. You know, always rooted for me, giving me the benefit of the doubt. Phenomenal. That's why I really wish, maybe there is one Scorpio that I could date and it would work out. But I don't see that happening because Scorpios need like in-depth emotion, and I'm just not one of those kind of people. I'm not, especially in relationships, I'm not an in-depth like, I'll appreciate you, I'll root for you, I'm there, I'm your number one supporter, but I'm not like completely soul tied, and that's what Scorpios love in romantic relationships. It's funny, I had this joke. I have a friend who's gay and he's a Scorpio, and he would always say to me, if I was straight, I'd bring a contract for you to sign so you'd be mine forever. And I'm like, you do that to an Aquarius and they're gonna run the other side. And it actually has happened to me twice for Scorpios have been interested in me, and they've been like, okay, so this means that we are together, you know, like have a fake contract. And I'm like, that's the biggest turn off because Aquarius, we live day by day. But what I love about Scorpios is that they're loyal, trustworthy. If you tell Scorpio your secret, they will never tell it to anybody ever again. Like, they'll never ever say it. And I always just root for them because I feel like people don't understand them. I think Aquarius and Scorpio are the two most, and Geminis, the three most misunderstood signs. And people think we're disloyal, people think we're backstabbers, but especially I've seen Scorpios, they'll only do it to you if you do it to them. So I'm like that too. I won't go low, like Scorpios will go really far. But I'll get even. As an Aquarius, I'll get even somehow. And Scorpios are like that too. We understand each other, so we never go there, you know? Which is so opposite to Libras. I feel like Libras are very like the opposite of that, but I'm not gonna get into that. So with her Sun in Scorpio, I think the reason why he has stuck with her, and I don't want to say stuck and like he had no choice to leave. I think what was different to Dwayne about Gabrielle, excuse me, is that she would always root for him. And I'm telling you, Scorpios, I've seen it. Even when I dated that Scorpio, he would do things for me. I was like, you thought about that? Like, you remember that? You know, in the sweetest way. Like when a Scorpio's in love with you, you have a forever supporter. And it's a very beautiful thing. And I think even though he didn't see himself as anything worthy, she did. And she reminded him of that. And because of that, same thing with Capricorns are also very loyal like that. I have experienced Capricorn loyalty. But Capricorns, that's why I strongly believe they make a great match, Capricorn and Scorpios. Because if they can make it through hard times, they'll be together forever. The only problem is, I don't see them making it through hard times. And I'll explain to you why. Because with King of Cups, Four of Swords, and the Empress, because I just got an image. The King of Cups, Four of Swords, and the Empress, I see very strongly here that this is another thing that I really love about Scorpios. Just because they do something for you, they won't remind you. You know, I rave about Scorpios, but they're high on my list of zodiac signs that are really underrated, and I wish people would understand them more. Because I'm telling you, if you have a Scorpio friend, I think about my one friend, dear friend, I'm not going to say her name, even though I think she deserves a shout out and she deserves everything and more. We've been friends for 10 years now. And I was going through a really bad breakup. Twice I've been through a really bad breakup, and she's been around like close in my life because we used to live in New York together. Not together, but like we used to both live in New York. She now lives somewhere else, but when we were both living in New York, you know, we'd meet up. Never once did I ever feel, and I encountered this with a lot of other friends, never once did I ever feel, and I'm gonna get emotional because I'm so grateful for her, did I ever feel like she was judging me. Never did I ever feel like she would use it against me. Even when I went through my breakup, she was there for me constantly. And for that reason, I will always want to be a good friend to her. Because even when I was at my low, she never ever judged me. She just said, how can I be there for you, you know? And I mean, obviously her parents are great. Her parents are phenomenal. And I think it rubbed off on her too. But I've seen that in a lot of Scorpios. A lot of Scorpios, they will ride or... Let me tell you about ride or die. Scorpios are ride or die. And they'll never say, I did this for you, you do it for me too. Never. They just do it because that's what a friend does. That's what a girlfriend does. That's what family does. Like, that's how they believe, you know? But what's different here is that Capricorns in general do. And he has tallied up things he's done for her. She hasn't tallied up things she's done for him. And when he comes with his list, she's gonna be upset. She's gonna be upset and she's going to feel like that's just what you do. especially with the Tower, as her career takes off, that something's going to happen with her career where he's not going to be okay with her traveling a lot, and so forth and so forth. And bottom of the deck, Two of Swords, he's going to ask her to choose. And she's going to be very upset. And I see, you know, I did say last week that I feel like a part of her anger, because she is Capricorn and rising, she has this bitterness energetically. I pick up on bitterness that she has, that she needs to work through. Honestly, she needs to work through it, because it's going to be her demise. She's going to isolate herself from people and from her spouse, because she's not going to say she's upset. She's just going to harbor the resentment. And I say this about all water signs, Sun in Pisces, Sun in Cancer, Sun in Scorpio. All of those sun signs, and possibly if your Mercury's in it, in a water sign, you need to learn to access your throat chakra to vocalize how you feel, not keep it within. So I do see the potential of the relationship going well if she can learn to speak up for herself, and not in an angry way, not in like a seething way, not in a passive aggressive way, but straightforward. This is how I feel. This is how I felt. And I gave an example last week of a friend, another friend I have who's a Scorpio, who, when she needs a moment, and she's taught me, I've learned so much from Scorpios, honestly. I've learned a lot from other signs, but I don't know what it is about Scorpios that I just find them so fascinating. You know, maybe Scorpio is secretly my favorite sign, but I find them so fascinating and so like endearing and compassionate in a weird way, you know, and loyal. And I love loyalty. Loyalty is my number one thing that I appreciate in people. But what I find very interesting, like how she, if something happened, like one time she snapped at me, I gave that story. She came back and she said, I'm sorry, I did that. I was going through this and I apologize. Most people, in fact, I know a lot of people are not a fan of her, that friend I have, and they sometimes don't understand why I'm friends with her. But I see it, and I see beyond the lashing out. You know, it doesn't happen continuously, otherwise, if it did, I would be friends with her. But I get the deeper meaning of why they are the way that they are. So with Queen of Cups, the Sun, and Four of Wands, I see very clearly here that, especially with Four of Wands, even though Four of Wands is about marriage, I see her questioning her marriage. Lots of questioning. And they just had a child, right? The child is like 2 or something. I see her questioning her marriage constantly. But even though she does, she still stays. Five of Wands, 10 of Swords, and Queen of Pentacles. But once her career takes off, the shift of the relationship, because she's in her, what, like 3rd taking off a relationship. Once that happens again, she's gonna get a few different shows. That's when we're going to see a shift in the relationship, and I unfortunately don't see it making it through. Because his ride or die, he won't have anymore. I don't know if that makes sense. Sometimes I say things, I'm like, I hope that translated, because you know I have to translate the cards. I hope that translated, but I'm always happy to clarify if you have a comment, if you have a question about a reading I've done. I love you all. I'm so grateful that you've stuck around. If you have, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, or if you are subscribed, consider being a member. It's $4.99 a month, and you get exclusive content, early previews, and members only questions during live. So I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.